Hey, everybody. So this is not technically perfect. You see, I'm starting to get this now. Like it's mirrored. Not technically perfect with me, Richard Struther, your host. And I want to continue on yesterday's topic. And you'll notice that today I'm inside so I don't get rained on because outside looks kind of miserable. So here we are. I'm back in my living room. And this is all good. This is, yeah. So, um, yeah. So let's talk about mindset. So yesterday I was asking, I mentioned, the billionaire who goes on is driving Bugatti, 600, 6 million views. He tells you how to build the business to drive a Bugatti, 600 views. And do you want to be educated or entertained? And I disagree that not everybody wants to be. Look, everybody wants to be entertained. Okay, entertainment, yes, absolutely. I'm not. I don't think that not everybody wants to be educated though. Okay, not everybody wants to be educated. I think that there's a good portion of people that still want to be educated and really want to bring their game up, and that's kind of part of the mindset philosophy. And also too, and if you want, I'm gonna give a recommendation here. Again, I don't. This is I don't. I have no affiliates to this. Um, I highly recommend Mark Manson's book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It is absolutely spectacular. Yes, I just said that out loud online. Um, I highly recommend it. It's spectacular. It's a great beginner's guide to kind of self help and really kind of getting your mindset right. And the the big thing, I ended yesterday with Jim Carrey's quote about, well, I hope everybody has the chance to be rich and famous and, afford everything they want because then they figure out it's not and it isn't. Um, I've been fortunate enough in my life to be around the perception of wealth enough to know that it doesn't bring happiness. It's not the end. It's not the. It's just a means to an end. And the fact is the most important aspect that you will ever have is really about purpose. It's about um, being part of something larger than yourself. And it used to be filled by religion. This used to be religion used to form the community, and everybody, it was about God and your service to God and the community and being a better human being. And well, the church isn't. I know there's still community around churches, but it's not what it once was. And the church was, let's be honest, a little bit controlling. And I know that's a fairly inflammatory view. I'm putting that out there just as, and that's through my lens, and I can only put that out through my lens, and I don't want to assume that you've had the same. But historically, they've done some interesting things, just historically. So anyway, all that to say, um, purpose to drive to live a life with purpose, not to live a life to be envied because that's nice, but a life to be envied is then you're just living for pleasures of the flesh or pleasures of uh, a life of education is great, but if you don't do anything with it, knowledge is power. Well, no, it isn't. Not if it's not applied. So there's a life to be envied and a life to be admired, and that's live like a playboy and pleasures. Sorry, yeah, a life to be admired. So like Mother Teresa. Well, Mother Teresa's life wasn't something that any of us would really want, but you have to admire her dedication and whatnot. So there's there's a balance here. But if you don't have purpose, then neither of these you can't live anywhere in that. It's about finding a purpose greater than yourself and really kind of going for it. And I love this, Mark Manson again. The meaning your goals provide when you're working towards them, the meaning your goals provide when you're working towards them, is the meaning that is taken away once you achieve them. We as humans tend to set the goalpost and say, "I will be successful when," and then by the second you get that, everything's changed. Remember about the dip, right? Your perceptions change as you learn. Your perceptions change, so all of a sudden you see, and then you get to that certain point, and you're like, "That's great. Now that I got there," but then your views have changed again. So you keep setting the mile marker further, right? And nothing wrong with that. That's kind of inherently part of who we are. That's built in. So it's really important when we get to that with this mindset is to go. That's why I keep harping. You must celebrate the successes. You must really, you know, say yes, yes, I achieved this, and it has to be something tangible. It has to be something where you go, yes, it was hard. Because if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? And by the way, for those of you who want to take it all upon yourselves, I love that I got this poster years and years ago for my best friend and well, my wife at the time. Um, and it said, um, nobody expects you to save the world. If they did, you would have been born with a cape and tights. And it's true. You don't have to go out and save the world, but being there to help others and whatnot, again, find your purpose. What's your goal? What do you want? That you see, the reason I keep going on about this, right, and it's important is because uh, it says that it says down there, technology coach. Coach. Well, a coach helps you find out what your purpose is. What do you need to drive? What is your goal? What do you want to get to? And then how do you get there? And then we stay on you to, we hold you accountable to get to that goal. So we need to figure out what the goal is, right? And if it's, again, if you have this, I want to publish a book. Awesome. Let's publish a book. Let's do this. And you can. You can. Yes, break it down to smaller parts. We'll do that. Right? But you break it down to smaller parts and then you achieve each part. And as you achieve each part, you celebrate, whether it's a little celebration or a big celebration. And then when it's done, you can kick back. But then that's done. So what do you do next? So what's your purpose? What's your overarching purpose? You notice that most authors who write books, or especially big, best-selling books, they don't just sit on their laurels and go, okay, I wrote my book, life's complete. No, we're not George Eastman. Kodak. Yes, Kodak. You want to look up an interesting story? Look up how George Eastman died. Very interesting. Odd. Very, very interesting. He was a massive innovator. He was very about innovation. So anyway, I'm not going to drag it on any more than that. Guys, I hope you've had a fantastic weekend. I hope this inspires you to go into Monday with with something a little extra. If you ruminate on this at all, I hope it gives you a little something extra to kind of go, and gives you some food for thought and gets you thinking. And what type of person are you? Are you the person who wants to watch? Are you the person who says they want to do? Or are you the person who actually goes out and does? And if you want to be the person who goes out and does, let's talk. Here's the email. The website is rstruther.com. If you guys have questions, comments, anything, hit me up in the chat. Whether it's YouTube, Facebook, the Facebook page, I see all of them. Guys, have a great Sunday night. I hope you have a great start to your week, and I will see you tomorrow live at 6:45.